What's up, my little goblins? Welcome back to my channel. It's Remy, and today we're gonna be doing the beginning of the year book tag. So I don't know if I've ever done this before. I think I might have done a mid-year tag. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't really do tags, I don't think. But I saw Larissa do it. Larry Reads, love you, girl. And she says she thinks she made up these questions, but she doesn't remember. The questions are in the description. I did omit one question, and it was the last question. I think it was like, what advice would you give to someone wanting to make a book account? I don't really have advice.
I'm not great at the advice. Can I interest you in a sarcastic comment?
I omitted that question. Let's carry on. This is the 2026 beginning of the year book tag. Now, some of these questions were covered in my last video, which is my 2026 goals video. So if you want to go watch that, I believe it's going to be right here. But with that being said, the first question is, how many books are you planning on reading in 2026? And that is 25. That was covered in my last video. So the next question is, what book were you most likely to reread this year? Between Shades of Grey by Ruta Sepetys. This is a signed copy I have. I love this copy so much. I read this in 8th grade for a book report, for like a reading assignment. I had to read this book in 2 days. I think it has like 80 something chapters in it because I had forgot to return a book to the library, so they wouldn't let me check out the book I needed for my report. I had to read this in 2 days. It has 85 chapters plus an epilogue. I love this book. It made me cry. I haven't read it since. This author is such a good author. This is basically about Russia and World War II, and this girl gets sent to a concentration camp with her family, I think. But the author is a Russian-American author. From what I remember when I was like in 8th grade, this is based on like what her grandmother told her about what happened in World War II in Russia. So it's kind of based on true events, but you know, with fictional characters and stuff. I love Ruta Sepetys. I read this book and Out of the Easy by Ruta Sepetys, and I really definitely recommend reading her books. She has a couple more that are historical fiction based. Out of the Easy isn't historical fiction, but it is still really good. I kind of want to get back into historical fiction. This is the first book that introduced me into historical fiction, and I loved it so much. So, and last year I read A Lovely War by Julie Berry, and that book made me cry. So I just really want to read more World War II and World War I like historical fictions. So if you have any, recommend them in the comments. I have a couple I already want to read, so just let me know if you have any recommendations. The next question is, what is your priority read on your TBR this year? And that would be this chunky boy right here, and that is The Priory of an Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. She is thick, okay? Why is she so thick? I've been like kind of avoiding this book because I want to read it so bad. I love fantasy. I've wanted to get into like epic fantasy really bad, and I think dragons are so cool, but like I really don't want to get into the fourth wing of it all. I want to like a true epic fantasy with dragons. This is a part of a trilogy. There's this book, the second book, which I think is just as thick, and then there is a third book is like a prequel to this, which is supposed to be smaller, and it says it's supposed to be like an easy introduction, but I kind of want to read in publication order. So, and plus I already have this chunky boy, so I feel like I should read it. It's not even just that it's thick, the text is also small. So I know there's like a lot of world building in this, which is what a lot of epic fantasy is. So I just have to mentally prepare and like spend like a whole month reading this, because I know that this is going to take me a while to read, but I'm really excited. I want to read this so bad. Please hype me up in the comments for reading this, because I really want to. Okay, fourth question. What authors are you no longer going to be reading in 2026? And for me, I think it's going to be Elle Kennedy. Elle Kennedy, I read this last year. I gave it a 2.5 star. I feel like her writing is very easy to read, not in a bad way. Like, I enjoy her writing a little bit. It's more of like how she conducted this story I didn't really enjoy. I just felt like the romance was nothing. And then the like whole background plot, I was so hyped up for nothing. Like, I like enjoyed the black background plot more than I enjoyed the whole romance of the book, which was like the whole point of the book. And then the background plot ended to nothing. Like, it felt like so anticlimactic, and I was like, oh. So, and I know people are gonna be like, well, this is the only book you read by her, that you shouldn't, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I tried reading her Misfits series because it was on Kindle Unlimited, and I DNF'd the first book. So I just feel like maybe Elle Kennedy's just not for me. If you can convince me otherwise, go right ahead in the comments, but I don't know. I really do wish, though, that I got this book in purple, which was like the UK cover, because this cover is really pretty, and I don't know if I'd get rid of this book just because I love how it looks, even though I didn't enjoy it. Another author I think I'm no longer going to be reading in 2026 is Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I feel like she's milking this series for all that it's worth right now. These two books were fantastic. You see how much I annotated these books? These two, the second one's my favorite. These two books were fucking fantastic. These are fucking fantastic, okay? Loved these books. This one, however, no. And I've heard not great things about the brothers Hawthorne. So I feel like she's milking this series for all that it's worth, and it's giving, I just want money. In my opinion, I could be so wrong, but I do think that, like, the brothers Hawthorne I haven't heard great things about. And then that was like a bridge book to like the spin-off series of this, which is like The Grandest Game and whatever. And I feel like this book is what she was trying to do. Like, I feel like she kind of veered from like the main thing because she was trying to like make this ending to where it would continue into like a longer series because of the way that this ended. And I was honestly so pissed because I loved Avery in both of these books. In this book, I could not stand her at all. She pissed me off so bad. I have a whole video ranting about this book and some other books, but this book was such a flop, and I really think the way she was ending this, she was trying so hard to make it into a longer series with the way it was ended. Because she, like, in the end of this book is when she has the main character Avery talk about The Grandest Game. And then we have The Brothers Hawthorne, which is the bridge novel into the spin-off series, which is The Grandest Game and, like, some other books. And she's coming out with another one for that series this year. And it's like, girl, get your bag, I guess. But I don't know. I just don't think I'm going to be reading her books anymore. This was a great experience for me. But I've tried reading a couple of her other books. Like, I tried reading her other little duology. I couldn't really get into that. I can't remember what it was called, but... So I think I'm going to be leaving her in 2025. I actually didn't read any of her books in 2025, so I'm leaving her in 2024. That's what I'm doing. Just Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and, like, I think YA novels in general are just not my thing anymore. I can do probably YA fantasy, but I don't know about YA mystery or YA romance. I just don't think I can do that, which is not technically true because I read a YA romance literally like a month or so ago and I really enjoyed that. So maybe it just depends on the author. I don't know. Just Jennifer Lynn Barnes is not for me anymore. The fifth question is, what is something new you want to read in 2026? I don't have a specific book that's like new, but I have a specific genre. I really want to get into Gothic literature. I think that it's so cool. I love the aesthetic of it. And I love the like eeriness of it, and a lot of the times it's like paranormal-esque. It's like really morbid as well, which I really like. So I really want to get into Gothic literature like so bad. So if you have any recommendations for Gothic literature, please let me know in the comments. Number 6, what is a popular book that you want to read this year? And that would be Alchemized by Sen-Lin Yu. I've heard so many great things about this book. I want to read it so bad now. Number 7, your most anticipated 2026 book release. That would be the 4th book to the Assistant to the Villain series. It was originally only supposed to be a trilogy, so when the 4th book was announced, I was so excited. I haven't read the 3rd book yet. I'm so sad because I didn't want this to end, but then when I heard about the 4th book, I got so excited. Which the 4th book has to be the last book. There's not really much else they can do with this. I am so sad. Like, I love these characters so much. And unfortunately, the 3rd book is the only one I have with the sprayed edges, which really bothers me, but it was the only version out. So I just bought it. I'm going to be reading this month, but I'm so excited. I think that the 4th book comes out the end of the year, though, so I'm like, I want it now. I want it now. But yeah, that is one of my most anticipated book releases. Oh, the fourth book to the Assistant to the Villain series is called Adversary to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Maher. I did not say the title, but that's the title. Okay, number 8. What is a bookish goal for 2026? I went over some of my goals in my last video. Just one to put here is I really want to branch out my reading a little bit. Like I want to read new authors. I want to read books outside of my comfort zone. I guess I want to branch out more with like thriller and horrors, which is like books I don't really read. Mainly because I feel like they're boring sometimes, which I've never read a Stephen King not a Stephen King fantasy, a Stephen King horror book, or thriller book, so honestly, he might be the one that gets me and makes me enjoy them. Question number 9, a book that's been on your TBR for a while, but you'll probably never read. I did not grab this book. I don't feel like getting up and grabbing this book, but it is If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. I just for some reason can't get rid of that book for the life of me because I feel like one day I'm going to read it, but I just feel like I never will. You know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like I need to accept the fact that I'm probably never going to read this book. But yeah, it's been on my TBR for so long. Number 10, a series you want to read this year. And that would be the Throne of Glass series. I have heard so many good things about it and that it was better than ACOTAR and I really want to read it. Say hello! Say hello! He hates me a little bit sometimes. Hi. I don't ever wear makeup, so he's just sniffing my face. But, question number 11. What are your auto-buy authors for 2026, Pistol? What's your auto-buy authors? Huh? Mine is Hannah Nicole Maher. My auto-buy author of 2026 is Hannah Nicole Maher. That is the author of the Assistant to the Villain series. Oh my god, his fur is all over my face now. It's sticking to my lipstick. Question number 12. What is a book to movie / show adaptation you're most excited for? I'm really excited for Hail Mary. I am very excited to watch that. I haven't read the book, but I want to read the book and then watch it. I've heard so many good things about the book. And another one I'm excited for is People We Meet on Vacation's coming out. And I rated that book a 5-star when I read it. I haven't reread it yet. I think I might wait for it to come on streaming platforms and then reread and watch it so that I can do a book versus movie video with you guys. Another one I'm not really excited for, but I really want to do a book versus movie video on, and that is The Housemaid. And that's mainly because I'm a big Sydney Sweeney hater, okay? And I'm not going to hate on this movie just because of Sydney Sweeney, but in my opinion, I feel like somebody else might have done better for this role. I have not read the book, so I could be completely wrong. After reading the book, I could feel like, oh, I see how she fits the role, right? But I just feel like the way that this movie is, like the thriller aspect of the movie, it's like when they used to put Megan Fox in everything, and it was like, why? Y'all just put her in there because she's hot? So that's what it's giving. Love Megan Fox, by the way. I think she did really great in New Girl. But like when they put her in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie, it's like, why would you put Megan Fox in a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie other than the fact that she's hot? And every scene that she's in, you close up on her ass. So I want to see if Sydney Sweeney is actually good for this role or if they just put her in there because she's a hot actress that gets roles because she's hot. So number 13, a sequel you're anticipating. I couldn't think of anything else other than Adversary to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Maher. I don't think there's any other books that have a sequel coming out that I'm kind of excited for. Number 14, bookish things you're leaving in 2026 or in 2025. Bookish things you're leaving in the past year. That would be special editions and or multiple copies of the same book. You've heard the joke, reading is one hobby and book collecting is another. I think last year I came to like a realization. I only have one special edition, by the way. I don't have the money to just go buy special editions and buy multiple copies of a book. But last year, if I did have the money, I would have blown a lot of my money on special editions and multiple copies of the same book. I think I realized towards the end of last year that it's a little bit unnecessary to have, like, if you want multiple special editions, multiple copies of the same book, fantastic. I think for me, it's a little unnecessary, mainly because I'm never going to read those editions of the book, you know? And to me, the edition of the book that I read first is what's most important to me. For example, I read Assistant to the Villain, right? And I saw a special edition at Walmart. And I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, this is so pretty. I took a video, I sent it to my friend Val. I was like, this is gorgeous. Why would I buy it? I'm never going to read it. It's just going to be on my shelf. So I think that's why I was like, I couldn't justify spending like, I don't know how much it was. I'm going to assume most special editions are like $50. If it was a signed edition, that's completely different because it's a signed version of the book. A special edition that just is the same contents in it, but just like pretty cover. I don't know. I just don't know if it's necessary. That's the things that I'm leaving in 2026. Like I know a lot of people collect all the different covers from different countries and all that stuff, but I just don't think that's a thing for me. Number 15 is what to expect from this account. I kind of covered that in my last video, so I'm not going to reinstate it here. I'm just going to say that I'm going to be doing more variety content rather than just reading. I'm still going to be focusing on reading content and book content, but I am going to be doing more variety content. And I go more in depth in that in my last video. So if you want to know what type of content I will be making this year, go watch my 2026 goals video. Number 16, how has your reading taste changed from in the last year? I think that I'm reading less romance and more literary fiction and fantasy. I think more so now I'm seeing romance more as a palate cleanser when I need a little bit of a break. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's so upset right now that I'm filming. I'm seeing romance more as a palate cleanser than a main genre that I'm reading. So when I need a little bit of a brain power break, or if I need like a good, like, cute little, I want to giggle and kick my feet type of read, I will be going to a romance. But I feel like that's not really my focus anymore. And I think I've also been reading a lot less spice. Unless it means anything to the characters and it's an emotional point in the book, I just don't really care about spice anymore. So if the spice is random and means nothing, then I don't really want to read it. If the spice, however, is an emotional point in the book where the characters are showing how much they care about each other and it brings them together, I'm all here for it. Last question. Booktube creators that inspire you. I'm going to go through the popular ones that everyone already knows, which is Larry Reed's, Destiny Sidwell, Sarah Caroli, Just Allie, Haley Pham, Ashlyn. Those are all booktubers that really inspire me. I love them so much. I've been watching Haley since before she did booktube content. I've been watching Destiny for a really long time. Another booktuber that they are popular, just not as popular as the other names that I said, and that would be Sunny Kim. I love Sunny Kim. I love her videos. She inspires me a lot too, especially because she has such a busy life and she finds time to read, so I can find time to read somewhere. And two more channels, which are commentary book channels. It's Always Tea Time and According to Alina. They inspired a lot of my commentary videos, or my commentary videos in general. I only have 2 out right now. And an honorary mention that is not a booktuber, but her name is Gabby Bell. She's a commentary YouTuber. I love her videos. She also inspired my commentary videos. I love the way that she does her commentary videos. She's so funny. That was my beginning of the year book tag. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later this week. Bye!